Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 123rd episode of Don't Forget the Popcorn. Guys, do me a favor, just go ahead, like and subscribe, okay? Because you know why you clicked here. It's going to be fun. Appreciate it. Now, this is a little not like my normal videos. I'm going off the head here, and anyone who's watched my channel knows my off the head reviews can be a little much. So I'm going to try and keep this tight and concise, try not to keep you here all day. So, I had to jump on and go off schedule, go off cue, and review the hottest movie out right now, Sinners 2025, directed by Ryan Coogler. All right. Ryan Coogler, man, he's going stupid. Um, this is his fifth film. He's had Michael B. Jordan, the lead in this film, and pretty much all of his movies. And this movie, it's something. We're going to get into it. So, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, man. Two young guys under 40, killing it. They've killed it in everything they've been in. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you out the gate. They killed it in this. All right, I can't hide it. I'm not going to try and sit here and hide it like I didn't absolutely love this movie, because I did. Okay. I had way too much fun with this movie. This movie is very fun. And I'm telling you, man, this is one you gotta go see. I had to get on and do a review for this. Go off schedule. Don't care. This is great. So, before we even get into what this movie's about, I mean, dude, there's so much to unpack here. We got the comparisons to other films of this type. Like, the main one would probably be From Dusk Till Dawn, which he was clearly inspired by. He was inspired by John Carpenter's The Thing, by The Faculty. He was inspired by a lot of things, and I love that he wears his influences on his sleeve here. But this movie is far more than some inspired genre film. This movie is extremely well written and extremely well directed and extremely well acted. Like, this film, my God. From the first 10, 20 minutes, I was like, okay, we're in for something here. And this movie got a lot of hype. It got a lot of hype. I mean, crazy hype. Currently 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, an 8.2 on IMDb, and a 4.3 on Letterboxd. So you can't tell me that people aren't loving this movie. It is booming. It's all anyone's talking about. And excuse me, I had to join the conversation. So first things first, man. This movie, it's everything we needed right now. Movies have sucked so far this year. The only movie I really liked this year was Companion. That's really the only movie I really liked this year. But outside of that, nothing this year has impressed me. And I still got to watch Mickey 17, which I will be watching this weekend. But outside of that, everything else kind of So it's about time. And about this time last year was when things started heating up with Challengers dropping. And then as the fire started coming after that. And we'll talk about awards contention in a little bit. But man, let's just get into what this movie's about. Okay, so this movie, Sinners, is about two twin brothers, 1932, Mississippi. They went up north to Chicago, did some work for Al Capone, got some money, and got some booze, and came back down, and they want to open a juke joint for all the black people in town to enjoy. And the two twins, Smokestack, funny, both played by Michael B. Jordan. Okay, and we'll talk about the action in a little bit. But these two twins, they're ex-military. Everyone knows them. They have a reputation. They're hard asses. Slick, cool, fun characters. And these guys, they just want to have fun and make some money. And their little cousin ends up rolling with them. Now, the cousin's the catalyst for all this because he is a musical prodigy, and he's a great blues player, singer, guitar player, everything, the whole nine. And the kid who plays this guy in the movie, this was his first movie. My God, this kid was awesome. But, well, like I said, we'll get into the characters and stuff later. So things go crazy at the juke joint on the opening night, because this movie takes place in one whole day, like a whole day from morning to the next morning. And my God, man, I'll tell you what, it's something else. Now, I'm not going to spoil this movie. There will be no spoilers here. Okay. None. So don't worry. I'll tell you what you need to know, but I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. So, first things first, this movie, the story, it's nothing, too crazy. It's nothing too wild on the surface. But this story is layered, layered, layered. These characters in this story, they all matter and they all play a crucial role in telling the overall picture and paint the overall picture that Ryan Coogler was going for. And my God, this movie is so well written. This is Ryan Coogler's first original idea. Every other movie he's done has been based on an existing property or a real life story. This is something that came up from his mind, and it is great to know how creative my man's is. The future is looking bright for him. Oh man, this story, it tackles a whole lot of themes, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but it tackles a bunch of themes. It tackles Ah, it's one of them films that's so layered that you just can't stop thinking about it after you watch it. And the more you think about it and talk about it, the more you discover about it that you didn't catch. Like me only seeing this one time as of the time of recording this, just trust me, I will see this many more times. But at the time of recording this, me only seeing this movie one time, I haven't done it justice, but I had to get on here and talk about it. But my God, there is so much stuff like I missed that I didn't realize until later when I was watching it. So many little things that you don't catch. I mean, this movie has some incredible themes. But for me, the overall theme was freedom. This was a movie about freedom because it's 1932 Mississippi and black people at that time, we're in Jim Crow laws still, guys. Black people didn't really have rights. It wasn't good for black people yet. And this movie isn't about necessarily freedom from the oppressors. It's about freedom from yourself and doing what you want. And you'll see that in the Sam character, um, the cousin of Smoke and Stack. You'll see that in him the most, but you also see it in Smoke and Stack and what they're trying to do and how they're trying to have their independence. And you see it in the love interests of these men. You see it in the side characters of these men. And all these people want their own version of freedom because freedom isn't free, as we've heard so many times. And on top of that, everybody has a different version of freedom, you know? Everybody has different wants and needs, and this movie shows us that in a lot of different ways. And it's done so well. Nothing's overdone, nothing's underdone. Okay, at least on that front. We'll talk. I mean, this is not a perfect film. It's almost. We'll talk about that. I mean, this movie deals with the forces of good and evil. And what do you as a person perceive as good and evil? Because everyone has a different idea of it. And that is, to me, this is what makes the movie so brilliant. Is because on the surface there's clear villains and heroes. But when you start listening to what they're saying and figuring out the motives of these characters, the lines get very blurry. Because on one hand, the villains are saying something that sounds actually great. Sounds like something we've been trying to achieve here in America since the inception of this country. And the heroes, at some points, kind of sound not so great. So I love that this movie doesn't have a clear line of right and wrong. It leaves that ambiguous nature up to you to figure out what you think is right and wrong. Because, at least for me, I was agreeing and disagreeing back and forth with so many of the characters. And that's what makes this movie fun. It makes you think, it makes your mind roll. I mean, there's so much push and pull in here. It's like a game of tug of war, and I was all for it. I mean, this shit had me just on the edge of my seat, and not because it's super suspenseful or crazy like that. It just had my mind super awake, and I love it. I've heard some people say, "Oh, this is a woke movie," or "This is." I fully disagree with that, and I don't. I'm not a big fan of overt messages in my movies. I don't like a movie to tell me how I should think and feel. This movie does not tell you that. It gives you a setting and it plants themes around it and it lets the watcher figure things out. Because this movie, sure, there's villains in it, but the villains, everyone's a villain and a hero at some point in this movie to somebody. This isn't Superman versus, Zod. This isn't Batman versus a Joker. These are real humans. And real humans are flawed characters. They're emotional people. They make good decisions and bad ones. And I think this movie shows that in so many ways. And I just love that. And I don't know how people could say it is a woke movie because obviously you're probably looking at it from like, oh, the black side of it. But I mean, this movie also tackles the Irish struggle that was going on back in the day. Irish struggled for centuries too, just like blacks did. So Ryan Coogler didn't shy away from what was actually happening at this time. He really didn't. And not just to black people, but to a lot of different people. There's indigenous people here. There's this movie, I'm telling you, this movie's like a slice of cake, man. It's just layered, layered, layered. It's Shrek. It's Onion Boy, man. It's got layers to it. And it's a beautiful thing. So have fun with the themes. The themes are great. But to go with the great themes, the great writing, I mean, dude, the cinematography in this movie is nuts, man. I was blown away by some of the shots. And like, dude, when they got Michael B. Jordan hanging with Michael B. Jordan, God, it just looks so real. They look like two different people. They look like two entirely different people. And I was blown away. I remember back in the day when movies used to try and do that, a lot of times they wouldn't show both their faces on screen at the time. Now we've got the technology and the skills to make this look real. And God, man, $90 million movie, you can see where the money was spent. The money was spent very well. The cinematographer in this movie, I believe it's who's done all his movies. I don't quote me on that. I believe it's a lady. I'm sorry I don't have her name, but absolute A plus. Absolute A plus. This is a sweeping, epic looking movie, man. It's got a Western vibe to it. It does. It's got that Western feel to it, but it's bright and vibrant, and then it's dark and gritty. And the way they use lighting in this movie, there's times where, it does look a little dark. I will say there's times where it does look a little dark. And, some of these people are darker skinned, so it's hard to see some of the details in their faces at some point. But that's the realism of the situation. It works. This movie can't have a bunch of artificial lighting. It needs that natural lighting from the surrounding. And they make it work. God, this movie looks great. It looks great. And on top of that, what looks great in cinematography? The actors. Let's talk about the actors for a minute. Let's talk about the actors for a second. I guess we'll just go down the line with it. Let's just go down the line. All right. The lead. Some people argue that someone else is the lead, but we all know who the star of the show is here. It's Michael B. Jordan, the man himself. Michael B., we haven't seen him take a leading role in a couple years since like Creed 3, really. And he's been having things going on in his personal life, but my man is back. And he came back with a bang. Michael B has always been good. Michael B's always been great. Killmonger, one of my favorite characters ever. Badass character, and he played the hell out of him. I never thought I would say any other role Michael B has or would do in the future would top that role because I just fucking love that character and the way he played him. God damn it. Stack and Smoke. Beast. This is my new favorite Michael B. Jordan role. In particular, Smoke, man. Smoke was a cool motherfucker, bro. Stack was too. They were both awesome. That's the thing. I'm talking about one actor playing two guys, and he did such a good job. They feel like two different characters because they are. They are two different characters, and I love that the way Coogler wrote this. I guess he did a lot of research with twins and had twins around. The way Coogler wrote this, it feels like real twins. It's not this one of them's really calm and tame and the other one's really wild and crazy. So, a lot of times movies will do that so you can tell a distinction between the two characters. This movie didn't need to do that. You knew who they were. And I mean, at least I did. I think everybody else did too, based on what I've been hearing. But I knew who these two characters were. I knew they were both different characters every time. Like, first 5 minutes, you forget you're watching Michael B. Jordan only. It feels like Michael B. Jordan and Michael C. Jordan. It feels like two different people. And Michael B. Jordan, hey, it would be really dope if you could, maybe get some awards love this year for this role. I think you deserve it. But, this is a genre film and it's early in the year. But I don't know. I don't think this movie can be ignored because of not only the critical success, but it's making the money too. So we got those two characters, Smoke and Stack, amazingly played by Michael B. Now we have my favorite character in the movie, Annie, played by Wunmi Mosaku. She's a Nigerian British actress, and she was absolutely incredible. She was my favorite character. I truly thought she was. I thought she was really one of the centerpieces of this film. I thought she played this very well, and her character was so lovable, likable, and her chemistry with Smoke was amazing. They felt real, and I love that they picked this woman to pair with Smoke because this woman is pretty. But I could see a lot of people maybe thinking that they would pair Michael B. Jordan up with someone who would be a little more striking to the eye. But they went with someone who would have been period appropriate for the times, but who was also still pretty. And I love that. I love that choice for this character, that they didn't go with a Zendaya type or someone like that. I like that. I love that. She was incredible. Then we had Haley Steinfeld, homegirl from True Grit back in the day. Believe she got a Best Supporting Actress nom for that movie at like 14 years old. Love her in that movie. She was great. And, she's done some roles, some decent work here since then. But I haven't seen her like this since True Grit. She was great. She was great. She was definitely one of the better characters in the film as well. Her chemistry with Stack, man, these two felt very real. Josh Allen was probably watching this like, man, I don't like what I'm seeing, bro. No, dude, you don't want to see your girl with Michael B. Jordan. But Haley Steinfeld, we will be seeing her a lot more. She was very good in this movie, and held her own in here with some heavyweights. And I mean, by the end, dude, I loved her character. I was iffy on her throughout most of the film. I just didn't know what her intentions were. But man, by the end, I did like her character. She was amazing. And then we got Omar Benson Miller, who plays Cornbread. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time. He was in like 8 Mile and what was that other damn movie he was in? I think he was in some football movie or something. He's in a bunch of crap. He's a character actor. He plays Cornbread, who's like kind of the big enforcer guy, and he's funny. He's some comic relief, but man, he has a really good scene in this movie that definitely had me on edge. I actually think it was one of the most suspenseful scenes in the film. He was good. Can't deny him. Jamie Lawson, who plays Perlene, she was great. I'd never seen her before, but I liked her, and I thought she had great chemistry with another character I'm gonna talk about here in a minute. She wasn't one of the main characters, but her impact was felt when she was there. And we had Lee Jung Lee, who plays Grace in the film, and she's one of the friends of the brothers, and her character, her character kind of sets some shit off. So she's not a huge character either, but she played her role very well. I loved hearing this Asian lady with a southern accent. It was awesome. It's not something you hear all the time, so that was cool. And then you got the veteran Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim, the drunk musician. Delroy Lindo has been around forever. He's a freaking legend. He's worked with so many good directors and actors. I mean, I could probably name 5, 10 films off the top of my head that he's incredible in. I mean, he's always bringing it. And he's getting older. He could have dialed this performance in, but he didn't. He brought something very authentic and very, very refreshing to this character. And it was just awesome seeing him giving it his all, as he always has his whole career. And his character was awesome. He was funny. He was definitely one of the more comic relief characters. And what he does in the end is, man, it's admirable. It's really cool. It's cool to see. But last and absolutely not least, the man everyone is talking about, Miles Catton, playing choir boy, preacher boy, Sam. Miles Catton. This is his first film. Introducing Miles Catton. This will not be his last film. This kid brought it, held his own with heavyweight like Michael B. and Delroy Lindo. That's insane. I mean, I couldn't believe this was this kid's first movie. And not only that, this kid is an extremely talented singer, guitar player. I was blown away by what this kid was bringing me on the screen. And I'm going to talk about a scene really fast. There's a scene at about the midpoint of the movie that everyone's been talking about. It is a beautiful music number performed by this kid here. And it shows us the past, the present, and the future of music and how powerful music can be. And it's one of the most stylish, artistic, like just slick, risk-taking scenes I've seen in a while. I mean, this scene alone, like, it wasn't my favorite scene like a lot of people's was, but I mean, it was incredible. As I was watching it in my head, I was like, this is really cool. This is really cool. And I just kind of was sitting there just kind of stuck. Like, I got entranced by the scene. And this kid's performance in this scene, it's Oscar worthy on its own. I mean, if they gave an award for like best scene, like this would have to be a nominee. But speaking of the music, that's what we got to talk about next, because the main character in this movie really is the music. Not only the score done by what's his name, Ludwig, the guy who did the Oppenheimer score, that guy. He just won an Oscar. Sorry, I can't think of his last name right now. He brought it, as he always does. All his scores are good. And I think I heard him and Ryan Coogler went to school together and became good friends. And I believe he scored all his films, which is pretty cool because I didn't know that. The score is absolutely brilliant. Every scene is scored to perfection. It builds tension, it drops tension, it raises excitement, it drops excitement, all at the right moments. This score is one of the best things about the film. But not only the score, the effing music, man. The songs, the singing, the blues music. That's the main character in this film. It's a huge reason Ryan Coogler wanted to make this film to begin with. This is a tribute to his uncle who died, who was a huge blues fan, who grew up in this era. And I think that's cool. I think it's really sweet. And I believe he wasn't there for his uncle's death. And I'm sure that bothers him. I'm sure that haunts him. And I hope him getting to make this movie, brought him some closure. And it's a sweet, sweet tribute. And the mid-credit scene, it is my favorite scene in the whole movie. Why? I don't know why. we just didn't end the movie there, why he put it in a mid-credit scene, because it's like 5 minutes long. I don't know why he put it in a mid-credit scene, but it was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. And for me, that scene with him, let me not say, oh man, I almost spoiled some stuff. Let me quiet down. But that scene, for me, it tied this movie together. It put a bow on it. I love that scene. And the amount of love, respect, and admiration that was shown in that one scene was everything for me. I absolutely adored that. Seriously though, the music in this movie, this 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 movie has to get its credit. It has to get its credit this award season, because you can't get a movie like this that is this talked about, this hype, this well reviewed, this successful, that has all of these elements in them, and we can't overlook it. I don't care that it came out in April. I don't care. It's stupid. It came out in the year 2025, so it should be celebrated with the other movies that came out in 2025. This is absolutely gonna be one of the best films of the year. It's that simple. For Oscar contention, for awards contention, in my heart of hearts, I believe Ryan Coogler should be getting looked at for director. Michael B should be getting looked at for acting. The costume designer should be getting looked at for that. The cinematographer, the composer. Come on, the screenwriter, which is also the director. Like, best picture. This best editing. Like, for me, at 2 hours and 17 minutes, for me, this movie flew by. It flew by for me. I was glued from start to finish. Now, I was very excited to watch it because I have not been this excited to watch a movie in a while. And anyone who knows or watched my channel, I was really hyped up on The Substance last year. I wasn't excited going into The Substance. I actually didn't want to watch it. I just happened to watch it because, I watch everything and fell in love. So, and guys, if you haven't seen this movie, please just go in blind. Go in blind. I'm not going to tell you the twist. I mean, I did tell you some movies that it's inspired by, so you can make some guesses. I'm sure you probably heard, but I don't want to be the one to tell you if you haven't. But obviously, there's some supernatural, some genre things going on here that come out in the film at some point. And I think those elements tie into the title. I think those elements tie into the themes. I think those elements make this story what it is, because I know a lot of people felt those elements were underused, but I think they were used just enough to get the message across exactly the way Coogler wanted to, and I think he did. This movie made me feel. It made me feel. And if a movie makes me feel, you did your job. I can't lie. I absolutely adore this movie. I'm getting this movie on 4K when it comes out. Come on. I hope it gets awards contention. I really do. I want these guys, everybody in this movie, to get their credit, to get their awards, their flowers, and their respect. Ryan Coogler, I'm looking at you different. Michael B. Jordan, I'm looking at you different. And Miles Satin, I'm looking for you, dog. I'm ready for you. Guys, I would highly suggest seeing Sinners in theaters. It's worth your money. I am going to give Sinners a 9.5 out of 10. Guys, thank you so much for listening to my Sinners review. I hope I didn't keep you this too long, but if you made it here, obviously you liked what I had to say enough. So hit like and subscribe. Do me a favor. I'm trying to hit 700 subs by the end of spring. I appreciate everybody who's been helping me out. Guys, if there is a film or topic that you would like me to review, let me know and I will get to it. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ralph Vader. I'll link that below. Guys, I got a podcast, my buddy, The Cutting Room Floor. I'll link that below if you're interested in more longer formatted movie content. I will be back next week. And don't forget the popcorn.